Okay, well, here is the best of my front bumpers. I have 3 front bumpers, and this is by far the nicest one. And I mean, it's not that nice. I think it'll be okay. I think I can save this one. It does have one bad corner, which is over here. But it's only on top here, so I think I may try to fix this one. I see that this bumper does break down, comes apart here, so if I could find one of these, yes, but where would I find that? Here. In the meantime, I'm gonna break this down, get it wire wheeled, and see what I'm left with. All right, let's get on with that. Okay, well, I got my front bumper all broken down, and I ground it all down. So this one's not too bad. Not bad at all. I had to do quite a bit of pounding, but I think I can salvage this one. Now there's, you probably can't really see it, but on the top, there's a bit of a funny little crease here, but I think I've pounded this out to the best of my ability. I think I'll just do a little bit of filler here, and I think this bumper is going to be okay. Now, these front bumpers, this is like a 3-piece bumper with the 2 little extensions. I'm not sure if all bay window bumpers are like this. This is an early bay, so it has these little extension pieces, and this here is actually there's a rubber on here, and this is the step for climbing into the cab. So this one here is deteriorated on the corner. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a piece of metal in here on top. If it was just the top, I probably would, but it's quite pitted. It's pretty much gone here on the corner too. I mean, it could be repaired. Other than that, it's not bad. The bracket's okay. The other side is much better. This one here, I'd be able to reuse this one. So this one's good. I had a little ding that I pounded out right inside. And the bracket is still fairly thick. There's some good pitting on there, but that metal is thick. So this could work if I decide to reuse it. Not 100% sure yet. The brackets, well, they're very good. There's really not a thing wrong with these. So I just got the preliminary done here. I'm going to scuff them up one more time. I'm going to prime everything to protect it, and then I'll have to see exactly how I'm going to go about fixing this bumper, whether I patch this one up or try to find these end pieces. Now, I do have 2 other bumpers that came with the bus, but all the pieces, whatever's left is way worse than this. So this is as good as it gets for this one. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do a little bit of filling. I'm going to at least get this part done, and not sure how this one here is going to go. All right. Okay, well, I'm pretty happy with the main part of the bumper. I think I'm just going to shoot some primer on this to protect it because I don't want this rust to come back again. Now these other smaller components I kind of did to the best of my ability. I still see some little orangey powder. I mean, this came up okay, but it's just about impossible to get in all these nooks and crannies. And I had soaked these in solution before, but that was a few weeks ago, and so the rust came back. So what I'm going to do with these smaller components is I'm going to use the chemicals again. I got this rust wash here, and I've also got this other one. It's the same kind of idea. It's a POR 15 metal prep. I'm not doing POR, I'm just going to regular paint, but it's the same idea. You put this stuff on for at least 30 minutes, let it sit, do its thing, then wash it off with water, dry it. So I'm going to go with that route with these smaller components. And but for now, I'm happy with this one. I'm not going to retreat this one. I'm just going to get some primer on here and get it protected. Okay, so this should at least protect that from rusting again. I'm using the Tremclad oil-based primer, rust and paint. Okay, so hopefully that'll give it a good protection. All right. Okay, let's get these little pieces soaked down a little bit. I'm going to start with the Enviro Rust Wash. It says it's non-toxic, so it's probably not that good. It's been a while since I used this, but let's give it a try. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like here. And I'm just going to dab this stuff in here. I'm just going to put it on with a brush. Now the unfortunate part with this is that it says you have to, says you've got to wash this down after it's done doing its thing. So I don't know, kind of hard in the winter to have to go outside and sort of wash this, or maybe take them in the house and in the sink or something. I don't know. Let's get some product on the surface here and see what happens. Maybe soaking these would be better, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to try this, see what happens. I'll let the chemistry do its thing. And I mean, some of this stuff is really, the pitting is really heavy. Like on these brackets, the pitting is really heavy, but I mean, I can't, you know, I just don't know where I would find these right now. If I could find some better bumpers, I probably would be tempted to buy them. But the early bay ones are pretty hard to find, especially around where I live. And so I'm just going to try to salvage this. Some product on here. And of course, this is my corner here that I've kind of decided now I'm going to try to repair. So, but for now, let's just get this all protected. And all right, now you get the idea. I'm going to let these soak for about 30 minutes. It says to let them soak 30 minutes, then wash them off, then make sure they're dry, and then you can apply your primer and paint. If it doesn't work, if there's still some rust in the pits, it says you can repeat the process. So I'm gonna go with this, and when I come back, we'll be ready for primer. Okay, well, here are my little pieces that I've been marinating. Well, not really marinating, but I've been back and forth dousing these with the brush, and it's been an hour. So they recommend half an hour. It's been an hour. And you can see that now that orangey stuff there, I mean, I don't know what that is. I don't think that's rust. I'm not sure. Anyway, they've sat in the solution. Now what I'm going to do is now I have to wash them and thoroughly let them dry. Okay, let's get these in. I gotta bring these in. Unfortunately, I gotta bring these into the kitchen. I'm gonna rinse them in hot water, then I'm gonna stick them in the furnace room. I'm gonna let these dry thoroughly overnight, and then tomorrow, just like the bumper, just like the main part of the bumper, I'm gonna prime them. All right. Okay, let's prime these up. Okay, I got everything primed up, looking pretty good. Let's attempt to repair this. I got a little patch of metal down there left over from my 62 Comet. That's actually a nice thick piece of metal that was part of the quarter that I didn't need because it was a Falcon quarter. So, see if I can cut a piece and weld it in here, grind this down, and see if I can make this work. Worth a try. Okay, let's see if I can stitch this piece in here. Okay, well, I blew the cobwebs off of the old MIG welder, and I got this piece put in here. So put this piece in. It went pretty well. Ground it all down, and then I put a little piece on the inside, and I came back, sorry, and there was some little pitting and little holes here, so I filled those in and ground them. It's not perfect. The rubber is going to go over here anyway and cover this up, so not a big deal. There's a little bit of a crack here. I've touched that up. So while I was doing that, I also mixed up a little bit of Bondo. So I got a little bit of Bondo on here because there's a little bit of a ding. I pounded this out, but there's still a little bit left. I put a little bit of Bondo on the main part. It has kind of has a weird crease on the top there. I'm not sure what that's about. I pounded that out to the best of my ability, but that was still kind of visible. So a little bit of Bondo here, a little bit there. The rest I'm not going to worry about too much. It's got little imperfections where the bolts go in and the brackets mount. There's a little bit of distortion, but I can live with that. And I also painted I also painted my brackets. These should be dry by now. Yeah. So I got my brackets painted, so they look pretty good. And I cleaned up the rubbers that go on the step part. So okay, so let's sand this Bondo down, reprime, and we'll throw a coat of white paint on everything. Okay, here's my first coat of the white over everything, and it's got a pretty nice gloss. So this one, instead of using the roller, I actually used a paintbrush, and this is just one coat. I'm going to do a second coat with the paintbrush. See what that looks like. Okay, well, I got the bumper painted. I have 2 coats on there. I just reassembled everything. Before I put my corners on, I reinstalled the rubbers, and they went on perfect. They went all back into the slots. There's slots on the edges and holes. On the piece I welded in, of course, I had to drill some new holes to accommodate those. I did have to use a heat gun. In fact, not a heat gun, I used a hair dryer to soften the metal so I could to make it a little bit more pliable. So anyway, I got those back on. The rubbers are kind of old and a little bit shabby looking, so I've got this semi-gloss black. I'm just going to put a thin coat on there, see if that can rejuvenate them a little bit. If it doesn't work, I was thinking about getting the trim and bumper paint, but I'll try this for now. I've had good luck with trim clad. I paint all kinds of stuff, so we'll see how that goes. And once I get this black done, I'm going to come back and give this a final top coat, and this old bumper will be all done.